Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessed World Scammer, the O.C.G, and hopefully I am live with Outcast. Yeah, Unreal 4 though. But I really enjoy the movement. You can hop up with the energy. You can do a long jump. You have a wingsuit. That you can boost. You can rocket along the ground. It's pretty big, but it's not like just Call size. It kind of needs to be larger due to how quick the movement is in this game. Because you fucking move really, really quickly. And the whole thing definitely feels like I said, a throwback to Saints Row kind of sandbox games, but with the sci-fi twist.
That's not good.
I don't really think it's bland at all. I think this game has a fantastic art design.
Of course. Do you need it?
Okay, yeah. That's right. And the combat's also really great. A lot of customization. You have 2 guns. You have just 2 guns, pretty much. But you fucking have like over 30 modules that change how the gun fires. And you can equip a bunch of them at once. So, like for my rifle, I made it a spread shot, and I made it plant mines that explode. So, you can get really fucking ridiculous with it. With my pistol, it's slow-moving lightning bolts that gradually damage the target, creates like a web. You have a shield that you can block attacks with and dash into people. It almost kind of feels kind of prototypey because it's all...
Hi there. Do you need...
And it's a game where everything you do contributes to your character becoming stronger. On the surface, it seems kind of repetitive. It is kind of broken down into the standard checklist shit. But the thing about it is those checklists are really satisfying to do, and everything you do greatly helps your progression. The game does a really good job of constantly making you feel like you're getting stronger, making the side stuff worth doing. You know, every race you do, for example, they have a bunch of parkour trials that are fun. Gives you the things you need to upgrade your parkour. So you do races to upgrade your parkour, to do harder races to upgrade your parkour. And I honestly spent a couple hours just doing the races because they're fun. You get enemy bases to upgrade your weapons and gain new modules. That's where they're hidden. So you get new shit to trick out your guns. So you can take on tougher enemy bases. And, like, it sounds repetitive on paper, but I don't think it is because the stuff is different. And it leans into that. It really does feel like you're constantly getting stronger. and this is technically a sequel, but it's standalone. There was a game in the 90s called Outcast, and it was, I think, the very first game to ever use voxels, which game makers are kind of getting into now. But at the time, it had massive open areas. It was considered to be one of the very first sandbox games ever. And they wanted to do a sequel, and then, like, I don't know, like, 23 years later, they got the green light from THQ Nordic because they've been bringing back a lot of series from the dead. And it's not a reboot. It is a sequel. It's standalone, but it does reference the first game, come after the first game, and doesn't say the first game didn't exist. But knowing that the first game was like 23 years old and was obscure, you don't need to play the first game to get this. But it's not like a retcon. It's just like a new story with the same guy. And honestly, just the movement is so fun. Between gliding on the water, jumping and controlling your jump, fucking wingsuiting. And you also get powers that you can use. Like magical powers as rewards for quest lines. Like the ability to freeze all the enemies around you temporarily is the first one. And like I said, it just feels like a very 360, PS3-ish kind of sandbox game. That the kind of game they don't really make anymore. Where the world is just a toy box, and here's all this stuff, and you can fuck around. We have a lot of open world games, which, I like open world games. I know you don't like them as much. But we don't have a lot of sandbox games, and that is an important distinction. Did you hear about GTA? Yeah, it's fucking wild. Good news though, if you own the previous Gears of War remaster, you get it for free on Xbox, so that's cool. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. So, at the very least, I'm gonna get the new version on Xbox when it launches. So that's cool because I've owned the Ultimate Edition of Gears of War for years. But yeah, it is fucking wild. It's not something I ever thought I would see, honestly. Oh, that's gay. Gay? Motherfucker. And the game actually has some pretty. This game actually has some pretty dense RPG mechanics, where you can actually talk to pretty much every NPC that you see and ask them different questions. And like, there's actually like a shit ton of unique dialogue. And just about every main character you talk to, you can actually have like a super detailed conversation with them if you want to. You don't have to. In fact, almost all of the conversations can be at point A to point B. But if you want to take the time to learn about the setting, you can. Like, you can just walk up to somebody on the street.
Hi. Can you help me?
And then, as you go through the game, you pick up code words that you can then ask them about. And there's actually like a shocking amount of unique dialogue.
Gandalapod, anyone?
I have what I...
Gandalapod, anyone?
Hi. Are you the chief of the village?
You? You look like a world traveler. An action-oriented fellow. My name is Tanak, and I am the leader of Sapa. Can I ask you something?
I'm an open book. Shoot.
I don't need a book, but shooting? Yes, shooting is exactly what I'm looking for. How much for the gun?
Sorry, Tanak. It's not for sale.
Sorry, let me clarify. I need the hand attached to the gun. Your hand, pulling the trigger. I'll pay you.
Like, say you can ask people all these different questions.
What's your name?
I am Tanak, leader of Sapa.
And the whole thing, it's not like a parody, but it doesn't take itself super seriously. It's like, the best way I could describe it is like classic sci-fi, like old Doctor Who, where it's tongue-in-cheek and isn't afraid to be silly. It's not like trying to be like a parody, but it's got a cheese that it doesn't shy away from and is deliberately in homage to classic fantasy. You know, like sci-fi shit, like old Star Trek.
What's so special about this little settlement you have here?
It's beyond special. This little settlement is the gateway to the seas of the Dova. It's a community of fine, upstanding fisher talent and... Oh, who am I fooling? The community dwindles by the moon. Our economy tanked once the invaders closed the Daoka, and the only fish left are Senectus.
I've never tasted Senecta before. You like it?
Do I have any other choice? Those nasty carnivorous fish have become our main source of food. Mainly because they ate all the other fish. Something to do with the temperature of our waters. But Am explains it better than I do. Talk to him if you want to know more.
What do you want me to aim at?
The Gamors. Mating season's over and they're hungry, of course. So they're coming back to Sapa to feast on us. Can you get rid of them?
Depends. What's a Gamor?
Four-legged scavengers. Razor-sharp teeth, deadly claws. Faster than a harpoon. Gamors.
All right, calm down. I will help you. I'm sure they're still slower than a bullet anyway.
All two of them, you mean?
Why do the Ventilopes hang around Sapa? I haven't seen much of them anywhere else.
Ventilopes love to eat fish heads, and we love to eat every part of the fish but the head. So it's what you call the perfect partnership.
I'll come back later.
But yeah, man, I hope you watch them. I hope you enjoy them. I love Star Wars. I've always loved Star Wars. I've been pretty much a diehard Star Wars fan my entire life.
Hi there.
If you're looking for Zalip, you found him. But the big question is, why? Why do you want to see me? Are you bringing some lampe?
Lampe? You mean like alcohol?
If alcohol is a drink that makes you feel lighter, then yes.
Trust me, I could use a drink too, Zalib. but I'm as dry as you are. What's wrong with the Ventilopes?
Nothing wrong with the Ventilopes, you dumb Gorgor. It's us that's the problem. And them, the damn invaders shooting down those poor beasts left and right. How can I heal a Ventilope with a hole where its face used to be, huh? Can you tell me that?
Look, I got nothing against Ventilopes. Or you.
The Ventilopes catch Senectas. Senectas give Sapa life. The sacred mother provides. Our fragile ecosystem thrives. Yeah?
Intelligent.
Not really.
Yeah. You see the power of the Ventilope.
Pretty much the opposite of it.
Long distances, simply hop on a Ventilope's back. Need to chase away hungry Gamors? The Ventilope is your beast.
Having conversation trees where you talk to people
These hands can only heal so many. Without Ventilope
is not a Ubisoft invention, man. It's an RPG thing. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying having like a list of topics and shit that you talk to people about is not a Ubisoft thing. It's an RPG thing that became a part of Ubisoft when they went RPG. They don't fucking own it. It's like saying Breath of the Wild invented grass.
It's a lovely village you have here. Reeks a bit of fish, but hey, who wouldn't kill for an afternoon at the beach, right?
What kind of monster would kill for a beach?
It sounds more like a compliment in my language. Some things get lost in translation.
You think of Sapa, you think of the beach, the sea, I get it. But Sapa is also the soil, plants, beasts, the air we breathe, all connected into one fragile ecosystem. A mother to us all. If you bring war to Sapa and start killing for beaches, you'll have a problem with me. Understand?
I'll add it to my list. The odds got me solving problems left and right.
You're just like Tanak and Baram and all the other fisher talons. They don't care about the ecosystem. All they care about is how the Senectas are having their Outcast. But their reproduction cycle is only the peaking part of the respurk.
I guess.
The respurk?
It's an expression. It means that there is a part you see and much more to it that you don't
I could also make the case that it's a lot like a BioWare game or Witcher or Skyrim.
Which is, everything is connected. Take Tanak.
Or Oblivion.
He's all worked up about catching Gamors when it's Ventilopes he should be focusing on. And
How's the tide today?
The what?
Aren't you a fisherman?
We call ourselves Fisher Talons. We fish for Senectar. My name is Baram, and you are...
Call me Cutter Slade. Good to meet you, Baram.
Remember...
I'm ready to buy something.
And I'm ready.
You know, for the record, even if it was like Ubisoft, it's, you know, like, the way it's used is dirty. Like, people acting like that's a bad thing. I like Ubisoft. And I like Ubisoft games. I don't really think that it's like Ubisoft. But even if it was, I would not take that as a negative. I like infinitely more Ubisoft games than I don't.
I need to talk to you, Tanak.
I'm listening.
Fucking trying to looking for the specific guy. This game actually makes you piece together shit. They give you general information. You have to talk to people to find out information.
Hi.
I can.
What's a
Ventiloops are
Do you know?
Procreano.
Seer?
Come back.
And honestly, it's just a game that just playing it is fun. I like the movement, I like the setting, I like the story. And because they were doing this weird alien world, they were able to truly build a world without traditional laws. You know, didn't have to make it look realistic to highlight the fucking wingsuit and the movement.
Coming for me.
No, they don't. But a lot of people prefer games that are realistic. For me, it just depends. I like a lot of different types of games.
Don't melt your wings off.
Yeah, and it's not even anywhere as cool as it can be, man. Like the wingsuit, I just got the wingsuit. It can be upgraded to boost you much higher and faster and a lot longer. So, like, the wingsuit isn't even fully upgraded. And when you get the boost that lets you boost more, it actually basically gives you way more uplift. So you can almost fly by the time you max out the tree. Alright, Alex, I love you. My legs hurt. And then you can hover, adding a big aerial component to battles. And eventually even unlock a super-powered ground pound. Like I said, even riding along the ground is fun due to the sheer speed you can move at with the fucking boost. And the fact that even water, you can glide over the surface of water, so water isn't even really an impediment. Whereas in a lot of open world games, water is just like a fucking pace breaker. You land in water, it's like, gosh, and I'm gonna slowly fucking swim back to the surface.
I should free up some space first.
No, I'm gonna say that's not normal. And if Scarface was a person, I would tell it to see a doctor.
Careful now. I can smell a gore corruption from here. Smell. Hey, if the odds can hear me, can you erase that memory for me?
I wonder, can I glide above the surface of the lava? Nope. Okay. Okay, so lava is just a no-go.
I still have undelivered gork, and I know where to bring it.
I just wanted to make sure. I say do. Check. Yeah, that's the only thing I have left to do. And the game, you know, the game was made on a pretty modest budget. It's the definition of AA. It's a passion project for people that wanted to make a sequel to their game and never got to.
Can I call you Bar?
The name's Barab. Does anyone call you Cut?
I kind of like Cut, but no, you're right.
Remember.
Is it a bad time?
You can speak.
I'm trying to, you know, like I said, it can be a little bit frustrating if you're expecting to get, you know, like, oh, here's where you need to go. They expect you to talk to people and figure shit out on your own. So that could be a plus or a minus depending on how you feel. You might just want to say fuck it and get to where you need to go, or you might just say, you know, appreciate a game that respects you enough to not, you know, guide you by the hand and say, you know, figure it out. Here's the general area, talk to people. Look. I can see it going both ways. Sometimes I just want to know exactly where I need to go and cut out the middle, you know. And then other times I, you know, do really just, you know, appreciate, you know, having time to be able to, you know, walk around and kind of feel my way out. That's why I think that that's a good thing that Assassin's Creed games have been doing for ages, and Ubisoft games where they have a guided mode and you know, free mode where it's basically, we can either tell you exactly where you need to go, or you can have figured out rough estimate.
Hi.
I can
Tell me about...
Despite what Baram says,
Anything else?
the Fisher Talons of Sapa can come.
Trying to figure out where the fuck I'm. Okay, here we go. You know, and I also want to give props to this game for not trying to throttle you whenever you enter a town. I cannot tell you how tired I am of open world games. Where they deliberately slow down your movement anytime you enter a town. Okay? There was a time when I understand that needed to be a thing, because they had to make sure that you couldn't, outload the game, and that was the area that games struggled at loading in the most, was those complex towns. Those times are no longer here, and it just sucks, So I really appreciate that in this game, you can just fucking full speed fucking dive bomb into a town and fly back out. Like, no, you can't glide here. They could have done that, and I'm glad they fucking didn't. Breath of fresh air, honestly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was needed. It's not needed anymore. Not on this generation of consoles where games literally have fucking SSDs that load so fast. Like, the PS5 SSD, man, loads so fast that unless you're going 500 miles an hour, that there's no chance of you outrunning the game as fast as it can load. That's why fucking Spider-Man on PS4 had really long load times when you fast traveled, like a minute, 2 minutes, and your PS4 heated up like a fucking jet carrier, and then Spider-Man on PS5, you could fast travel to anywhere in the world in literally like under 1 second. Just the sheer fucking difference that the SSD makes. So it's not needed anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand why it existed to begin with, but I've played a lot of modern games. No, Spider-Man had long load times, man. Also, at least my console never tried to fucking kill me. It just literally fucking ejected a disc at you. Smacked you in the face. And the proper games have taken advantage of that. Like, if you've ever played a Ratchet & Clank, Rift in Time, another Insomniac game, they're able to instantly switch levels. They use the rifts in that game to instantly transport you from one level to another. And it's not like, oh, they have to hide clever load times to get that to set up. No, like, they can just do that. There are parts, there were parts where Ratchet and Clank legitimately
Just sit here.
you switch between two levels instantly, and they have like entire sections around that because they can load in the level and load it out so fucking fast with the PS5 SSD. So, you know, and while the Series X SSD isn't quite as fast, I think it's about half as fast, it's still infinitely faster than any fucking hard drive ever was. So, like I said, you know, I'm seeing modern games that do that throttle your movement shit, and I'm saying it's like literally no fucking reason for it. Yeah, I have to agree. There's a lot of games that could have taken advantage of you tapping into just a fraction of the SSD, really. The load times are pretty much exactly what they were before, and, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Xbox actually lets its backwards compatible games tap into the SSD. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not as fast as, say, a game natively programmed for the Series X SSD. I mean, it never would be. You know, there's a difference between, like, making a bespoke upgrade. But, yeah, pretty much every single backwards compatible game loaded 10 times faster on fucking Series X. One more reason why the backwards compatibility was great. And that's not the case on PlayStation, unfortunately. And there are some games where that really could make a difference, like Blood Omen. I love Blood Omen. You know I love Blood Omen. I had the fucking Platinum Trophy for it. I pretty much 100% completed Blood Omen. Like, there's 2 secrets I didn't get due to, like, a shitty cutoff that I wasn't aware of. But I got, like, 99 out of 101 secrets in Blood Omen. Okay? That game's load times are fucking horrendous. And I understand why. It was a game that had a lot of data, a lot of complex shit, and it was PS1, and it was really early PS1. So they, like, literally were still figuring out how to, like, optimize for discs. But I'm saying, if they had properly optimized that for PS4 and PS5, they could essentially eliminate all the fucking load times from Blood Omen and make that shit instant. And literally, if you play it on PC, you have to fuck with it to get it to work. But you get it to work on PC, Blood Omen, 0 load times. And it makes the game 1 million fucking times better. And fuck, I mean, there's tons of PS3 games even. Yeah, but when you... That's the thing, dude. When you take that and you bring it into that 7 seconds, when you open the menu, when you close the menu, when you open the item menu to swap a weapon, when you open the magic menu to swap a spell, those loading screens add up. That's the problem. Like, the loading screens are not terrible. They're just really frequent. And for the frequency, they're way too fucking long. You know? And most other PS1 games later didn't have it load when you pause the fucking game. Got it. And PS3 actually lets you toggle fast loading, even though some games it actually fucked them up. So you had to be careful. But it did, you know, there were games you could legitimately just have much faster loading on. God, I hate my OCD and my fucking paranoia. I need to inspect everything. It's a miserable way it'll be, and if I could be any other way, I fucking would. But yeah, ultimately, you know, It's one of those things. All PS1 games have fast loading. On PS3. Look, there's a toggle. Or it could just be PSP, I don't fucking know, man. Either way. If PSP can do it. Oh, like I said, it fucks some games up. But a lot of them, the vast majority of them, just loaded faster. And were funner to play. Yeah. Yeah, see, there you go, again. That would be eliminated if they just took advantage of a small fraction of the hard drive.
Humans are immune to the Gork. Coming for me.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Yes. The crowd goes wild.
I'm happy to see you, though, man. I was telling Emily the other day, I said it just doesn't feel right not having Max call me gay every 5 seconds. Like, it's not the same.
The Gork, it's me again. More of that Gork. You are one.
Okay, let's see if I can progress the fucking main quest now.
Hi there. Got some questions.
Yes?
See you around.
No, I'm just trying to talk to the village chief, not you, asshole.
The Gamors are dead meat. There's a lot of red meat, actually. But I figured you guys are more into fish, so...
That's some fantastic and disgusting news. Good shooting, stranger. This buys our village a little time.
You mean these beasts are coming back? What's your long-term strategy, Chief? I don't plan on camping around.
Ventilopes can chase the Gamors away. We just need to tame more Ventilopes. And by we, I mean our beast tamer.
What do you think about the invaders?
What do I think? Well, they reverted my brother and deactivated our Tauka. So, not their biggest fan. But if you want a good hateful tirade against the invaders, or anyone in fact, you should see Zala.
I'll come back. Chief.
That's...
See?
Yup.
Time to get wet.
That's what your mom said. Making good headway on Oblivion. I finished the Fighters Guild. Not the fight. I'm sorry. I finished the arena. I finished the arena, the Dark Brotherhood. I made a good headway in the Mages Guild and good headway in the Fighters Guild.
Hey there. I'm Cutter Slade. Who are you?
The name's Nadul. I'm the former chief of Desan.
Who's the new chief?
The invaders? This village is now an occupied state. Anyone who comes here must be stupid or asking to be reverted. Which one are you, stranger?
Well, my ex would say stupid. This may sound crazy, but I've been sent by the Yods. I think.
The Yods? They have abandoned us.
What did you do in this village?
The massive pillars we stand on are filled with different varieties of Halidium, the most precious elements in Adelpha. We used to mine the pillars.
And they actually put a lot of time into the lore and backstory of this world, making it like a fully functioning society.
Slaves mining for the invaders' profit. We're too starved and weak to offer any resistance.
I don't know about you, but I'm always grumpy on an empty stomach. How could we enhance the mood around this place?
It's too late. We're as good as reverted.
Who's giving you orders?
Not who, but what. The invaders are machines without essence. Their ever-present drones watch us from above and shoot us when we step out of line. You would think we could deliver enough Halidium to sate their appetite, but no. The more we provide, the more they demand. Not even our animals can escape the misery. Their damn toxic waste poisons our nom-noms.
What's the problem with the nom-noms?
Save your questions for the other villagers, stranger. If they start to trust you, perhaps I will trust you as well.
But you're their leader. Shouldn't it be working the other way around?
Former leader. In this San, trust is even more precious than food. If you're sent by the odds, prove it by helping us. Bring a little faith back to these forsaken lands.
The invaders are filthier than sewer rats.
I'm not sure what you mean, but if you're referring to Damanai, we don't have those filthy rodents in Dasan.
Yeah, something like that. For a toxic waste dump, your village looks pretty clean.
The invaders dump all their waste at the foot of the northeast pillar. A steaming junkyard infested by vicious packs of krakits. I should get rid of this waste. But even with the Outcast back on, I would have a hard time finding any volunteer for early reverting.
I could start by getting rid of the Krakens. Can you describe them to me?
Can you describe fear?
Only vaguely. We never really met. Let me get rid of yours.
You sound brave. Or brain damaged. Either way, little toxic radiation shouldn't be a problem for you. If you clean up this mess, this sand will be in your debt. Destroy any toxic barrels you can find.
Hold on. How toxic is toxic? I don't want to glow in the dark. Or maybe I do. Kind of cool. But seriously, what's in it for me?
The invaders are throwing all kinds of useful things in their trash. Help us steal these treasures and we'll share them with you.
Well, it's not stealing if it comes from the trash. Rule number 1 on the mean streets of Cincinnati.
I can't handle more drama right now. Do you mind keeping your personal tragedy to yourself?
Right. Focus on the trash. Thanks for your time, Chief. I'm gonna have a look around.
Carmelia.
And you can do most of the story in any order. Basically, they've been invaded by the humans.
Yes? You hear me?
What is it?
But Cutter has amnesia, and yeah, they make fun of the fact that he has amnesia. And he's helping the aliens for some reason, and it seems like because the human invaders are fucking dicks, and basically they were able to take advantage because all these tribes were apart, and you have to basically convince them to come together.
The people of Dasan are in trouble.
Yes. They're the most isolated village since the Daokas went down. And the invaders are using them to mine the pillars. Their cruelty makes me sick.
Well, people here are suspicious of strangers. I need a way to gain their trust. Any ideas?
The chief is a good Talon. I think the others look up to him. Do what he says, and you should be fine.
But he wants me to talk to the other Talons.
Then talk to them. I'm sure they report back to him.
His daughter actually is missing, funnily enough.
You need to play by their rules.
All right, I'll try to mingle then. Slate out.
And honestly, just like the combat, man, it's just fun. That's what I'm saying. Like, this game doesn't reinvent the wheel. It's just made with a lot of heart. And it feels like a throwback in a lot of ways to the types of games that they don't really make anymore.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff.
say I could take off the slow-moving orb and put tracing rounds. That curve around to hit the target. And as you upgrade the guns, you get the ability to put more shit on there. So you can have several of those things stacking. And so the guns get kind of fucking insane. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, that's my bad. Like, if I wanted, I could put those tracer rounds on my mines. Then I have tracing mines that shoot around corners. What am I missing then? I'm missing... It's supposed to be a fucking terminal. Or a charger shot. Oh, okay, I had already opened it. I think.
Hey, you can leave now.
I'm not going anywhere until the yacht send me a sign.
Look, I'm your sign, okay? Ask the Almael if you don't believe me.
The Almael sends you. Too bad. The food was so good here, but thank you.
Let me see. Let's see what other shit I can add. Or projectiles give back health when killing an enemy. So that's also fucking kind of OP. And each part actually changes the look of your weapon. I fucking dig shit like that. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. Well, hey, let's move that.
Nice.
Add a charge shot with the mines. And there's a bunch of them, as you can see, that I haven't even fucking found yet. And then the mods can be improved further. Like, see? That's fucking awesome. Like, they actually fucking shot an arc and converged. Shit. Damn it.
How did you end up here?
With a group of former harvesters who traveled from Mamiya to seek work.
She did not say that shit in the fucking show, or the game, I promise
So
you.
I got angry and the invaders threw me in jail.
Because that would have been terrible. Like, I am fucking appalled by that, honestly. Like, that is fucking terrible. She's not even the dad. She's not even related to the kid. I'm gonna be a dad? Like, you're gonna be a stepdad at best, bro.
They're on me.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Okay? And it's definitely not something she would be happy about. Okay? Because Dina being pregnant puts Ellie's painful revenge in jeopardy. It's just suddenly hefted on her, and in the game, she had no forewarning. Dina didn't tell her she's pregnant. Okay? So Ellie's like, what the fuck? You know, I wouldn't have brought you if I known you're carrying a baby, and that puts her revenge, and it's actually like a bad moment for her. She's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a dad, yeah, super cool, I'm fucking psyched. And in the situation, it totally makes sense. It really complicates shit. Plus, you know, Neil Druckmann Say what you want to about him, but he actually knows how to write convincing dialogue. There's nothing in the entire Last of Us 2 to the level of that fucking cringe. So they should have consulted with him more, because, man, that was just shockingly bad. Steph sent that to me, as I'm sure you saw in the group, and I was like, no fucking way. Like, I'm like, ugh.
You're free to go.
Is Brahm sending you?
We're friends, yes. Go.
Carmelia, stranger. Thank you.
Like, it's fucking terrible, dude. And they're continuing their fucking stupid tradition of weirdly changing things that don't need to be changed. Okay? So in The Last of Us 2, the Seraphites, the Scars, the creepy religious people, are on the island just off the coast of Seattle, where the Space Needle is. And you can see the Space Needle, but you can't go there because they talk like that's Scar headquarters. Okay? So apparently in the most recent episode of the fucking show, they showed the wolves, who Abby's with, who are the opposite of the Scars, in the Space Needle. So where are the Seraphites now? What island are they going to be on? Like, the whole point for that was it was a real island that existed. So, and so why did you change that? Just for, according to what I've heard, it's just to show a shot of one of the characters. Yeah. Well, you know how I feel about that. It's not a terrible story. It has parts that are poorly written, but I don't think the game itself has a bad story. I think it's uneven. They tried to do something really ambitious, and there are parts where it's really good, and it comes across good, and then there are parts where you can tell that they didn't quite nail it, and it comes across as fucking awkward. They really did, you know, having two different characters, with two different casts of characters, two different main characters with two full supporting casts of characters, showing both sides of the story that overlap, but don't touch. Having the majority of the game take place over 3 days, but having flashbacks over 5 years for both the characters. They actually had a lot going on there that they balanced, you know, and it's rare that a game shows you both sides of the story. I mean, there's a fair amount of games that, like, here's the good campaign, here's the bad campaign, but what The Last of Us 2 is trying to do is show that everybody is the hero in their own story. Two sides to every story, so neither of them are bad. You know? And so they tried to do something really ambitious. You know, and there are times when it works, and it's really good, and then there are times when it doesn't, and it sucks. You know, whereas the first game had a much simpler idea. It was kind of a tried-true trope. Old grizzled veteran takes a young, naive kid under his wing in a hostile world. I mean, it's a trope in westerns. It's trope, and in a zombie outbreak, which obviously had even been done to death by the time The Last of Us came out, where The Last of Us fucking crushed it was in its execution. Phenomenal writing, phenomenal acting, phenomenal cinematography, you name it. You know, and a fresh take on zombies. Yeah, we've seen zombies, but the fungus thing, that's new territory. So, The Last of Us was like the case example of how execution can take something that seems trite and make it fucking awesome. Because on the surface, it's like, no, I've heard this story before. But then when you see how they do it, it's fucking outstanding. Like I said, the beginning of The Last of Us with Sarah has to be one of the best openings introductions to any game I've ever played. It's beautiful, it's concise, it's memorable. The whole thing takes like maybe 15 minutes, but it sets up the tone for the whole game. It's unexpected. It shows the raw panic. It shows you what Joel lost. and it does it in a way where what could be a cutscene is not taken from a player. Like I said, just the whole car ride, showing the chaos and the city on fire and shit. The fact that they managed to have that unbroken and not turn that into a fantastic. That, you know, so with the first game, they took a really kind of been there, done that idea, tried and true, and they did it fantastically. And it's consistently killed. With the second game, they tried to do something a lot more ambitious. And it still has moments of greatness. There's lots of really good parts in the second game. But then you'll have moments where it's like, this is kind of poorly written, or, oh, this character didn't get nearly enough time to get fleshed out because they're juggling so many fucking things. So, I don't think the story in The Last of Us 2 is bad. I think it's uneven and needed some correction. And unfortunately, rather than taking what should have been the slam dunk of going in retrospect in a show, and they could have fixed the problems with the game. You know what I'm saying? Taking into account fan feedback and actually fixed it and made it a better story. Even if Bella Ramsey sucked, they could have fixed the narrative holes and given more characters time to flesh out. Because of course they have more story. It's a show. It's going to have more story. So they could have fixed the problems and had that rare W to retroactively make it better in a way that, you know, you can't do in a game once you're committed, you know, because they started making the show years after the game had already wrapped up. So they could literally pick it apart and say, you know, this, and we can change this and take into account. And they said, no, we're going to make it worse. We're not going to rectify any of the problems, but we are going to take the good parts and we're going to make them super shitty. And it's funny, too, because something I think is hilarious. The Last of Us was one of the rare shows where the viewership increased. Most shows, they have like a lot of hype around the premiere, you know, because the marketing people want to see what's up. And then the ratings go down. And normally, you know, it's just because, you know, the only people who really liked it are going to come back for episode 2, but usually ratings slowly decline. And The Last of Us show, for all its problems, for the first season, consistently climbed. Every episode had higher ratings. Yeah. Every episode had higher ratings than the one before. And season 2 started out with higher ratings, too. And then after they killed Joel, ratings plummeted 30% overnight. Which, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but 30% in one episode, that actually is a pretty noticeable drop, especially when literally, up until that point, for a season and like 3 episodes, and then as soon as Joel died, and I guess we're going to have to see if it's going to keep going, you know? And I'm not a huge fan of Pedro Pascal as Joel, because I really do think that it's one of the cases where Joel should have been white, because he's literally supposed to be the genteel, white, southern everyman. Like it was part of his character. Now my cat has a hairball. Watch her, make sure she's okay. So I think that Joel should have been white. He should have been a southern white dude. And Pedro Pascal doesn't even try to do the accent, which is a notable part of his character. Even bring it up, the way he talks. But regardless, Pedro Pascal can act.
You're free to go, my
He's actually been in a lot of good stuff. He actually knows how to act pretty well. So even if he wasn't my preferred version of Joel, even if he didn't give it the take that I would have, where I literally would have gotten somebody that looked the spitting parts with the accent, he at least did, he at least did enough to be watchable. You know? Yeah. You know? And now that he's gone, it's just Bella Ramsey pretty much carrying the entire show. And that's a problem.
Move it, Slade. Time to get my hands dirty.
And like I said, the problem got worse. Because the one thing that Bella Ramsey had going for her was that she was convincingly young looking. Even though I don't think she fits the bill for Ellie, she fit the age. Even though she's a grown adult, she looked like a 14-year-old kid. Okay? But now, in the second season and on, when she's supposed to now be an adult and be 19, she looks literally no different. It's like she's still a fucking kid. So, like, the entire transformation that happened with Ellie, where she goes from being a kid to an adult in the second game, and it's like her becoming an adult, completing the cycle, is now gone. And to try and, I guess, cover that up, they made all of her contemporary actors also super young. So watching her scenes, it's like a bunch of child actors playing fucking cosplay in their parents' dress up. It's like a bunch of kids running around. It's fucking weird. You know? And of course, you know, in the original game, I'm sorry, the second game, Ellie was never that was her thing. And they used that to contrast it against Abby. Say what you want to about the buffness, but that was the whole thing. Ellie was quick, agile, light on her feet. Ellie was a fucking bruiser, strong, tanky. They have her fucking trying to be even tougher in the show, which honestly wouldn't work anyway because, once again, she's supposed to be light, quick, nimble, you know, outmaneuver, outthink her opponents. But she's fucking Bella Ramsey. She, like, is, like, the most physically unintimidating person I've ever seen. And they have an episode in the show. Where she actually beats this, like, a guy who's much bigger than her, who's, like, 6 foot something, 200 pounds, in a sleeper hold. Okay? First of all, she's not going to be able to take a dude like that in a fucking straight fight. Let's be clear. But especially not in a sleeper hold, which requires you to leverage your weight over somebody else. You know, my dad is pointing this out. Look at Black Widow. The way that they explain how she can kick ass, she outmaneuvers. You know, she crawls around the person and flips them. If you see in the Marvel movies. So she's not putting her weight, she's using their weight against them. She's not, like, trying to do a sleeper hold. So it's like, oh yeah. It's like, look how badass this chick who looks like a small child is. It's just, And on top of which, they're now running into more problems because they're saying that at the very least they're going to have 2 seasons for The Last of Us 2, and they said they could potentially even do 3 seasons. Okay? That causes a problem because The Last of Us 2 besides the flashback sequences, pretty much takes place over 3 days. Okay? So, when you're having years and years between seasons, it causes an issue. Like Abby, her companion character, you know, the Ellie to her Joel, is Lev. He's, like 12. So, either they pick an actor that already looks an adult, and then in which case, why? Or they pick an actor that looks like a child, and then they either replace the actor the next season, or suddenly, even though it's been a day, his balls dropped between seasons, because it took 2 or 3 years to film a fucking season. You know, and what's crazy to me is you have all these people sucking its dick and saying, oh my god, it's so good, it's like the best video game adaptation. 99% of the people that I have seen who are saying it's so great, that it's just one of the best video game adaptations, have actually never played the fucking game or watched the game. Okay? So how the fuck can you judge if it's good adaptation if you didn't play the fucking game? You know how fucking dumb that is? Yeah, ultimately, I know at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I shouldn't get worked up over it. I do, though. The Last of Us is really important to me. It's something that I care a great deal about. It's one of my all-time favorite games, fucking ever. I have played it, like, no shit, over 20 times. Probably way more than that, to be fair. And I have put over 200 hours into just the original game. And a ton in the remaster, and even more in the fucking remake. I am a huge fan of The Last of Us. You know? So, you know, it pisses me off. And, you know, it all stems from the same stupid fucking place. People who want to fix something that was never broken. The story in The Last of Us didn't need to be fixed. It was good the way that it was. And I've come to reject it because it's not even just that. There's this sentiment that it needs a video game adaptation. Games need a movie adaptation. They don't. There was a time when games were very, very restricted by the storytelling that they could have. So there was a place for a movie. Okay? That time is no longer here. I would say now that the best of video game storytelling should go toe-to-toe with any fucking movie. I would put the story of The Last of Us against any fucking movie. I would put the story of Red Dead Redemption 2 against any fucking Western movie. They don't, like, they don't need to be adapted. Like, their stories are great as is. But in the case when you decide, okay, I'm going to adapt it, even though it doesn't need to be adapted, alright, you know, it should be done with reverence and fucking respect to the source material. And that is something that they pretty much don't have in general. They just don't fucking care. Because they don't care. They don't care about the game. They care about the brand. They care about getting money off of the name. Unfortunately, you know, or they want to write a story and they have no experience, but they want people to pay attention to what they're writing. So rather than earning their stripes, so to speak, you know, like most good writers do, They just don't want to earn it. So rather than like, I'm going to make my own writing and hope that it's good enough that it stands out on its own, they're like, you know what, I'm going to hijack this person's brand because people know the name. They don't really care about what they're fucking adapting. And it's especially fucking bad, you know, when the author is dead. Or something like that, you know? Because, like, then you can't even get their fucking opinion. They don't even have the chance to defend themselves. You're just essentially raping their literary fucking corpse. And yeah, that wider audience, okay, when they think about The Last of Us, they're thinking about Bella Ramsey. You know how much that fucks me up? That people who never play the game see that fucking shit? And you know, I mean, we could all talk about her face and all that, and I honestly think she might have fetal alcohol syndrome, and I'm not trying to be mean. But ultimately, I could forgive that if her acting was any good. Her acting is fucking terrible. You know, if she didn't really fit the part, whatever, but she, like, really committed to the role and she gave, like, a great fucking performance, I would say, you know what? Maybe she doesn't look the part, but she gave it her all. She fucking sucks in acting. She has no emotion. All of her fucking line delivery is monotone, and it's the same. Like, there's no emotion. She's stiff as a fucking board. And remember, Joel is supposed to be the stoic one. Ellie is supposed to be the passionate, emotional youth. So it just... You know, and then... After all that fucking bullshit... After all the fucking bullshit... With Abby, how much they defended Abby, how much they defended her being jacked, okay? They fucking pussied out, and they didn't stick to their fucking guns and keep her jacked. And they're like, well, it limited her acting pool. You're telling me there's not plenty of fucking jacked women? I thought you said it was so common. And then they admitted, well, it would be hard to find an actress like that. Oh, so it's not. So you're saying it's hard to find somebody like that in the present world, let alone the fucking apocalypse, where food would be incredibly scarce. But okay, you know what? You made your decision and you defended it, only to then completely remove any respect I had about you by pussing out when it came to the live action. I would have had a lot more respect if they had found a female fucking bodybuilder. I'm telling you what. Because then, maybe even if I didn't agree with the choice, maybe if it wasn't realistic, I could say, you know what? They stuck to their fucking guns. They didn't. They pussied out. And it made everything they said, all the excuses they gave, fucking full of shit. You know? And they're just like, well, there's not a lot of buff Hollywood actors. Yeah, you could have found a female bodybuilder who wanted to get into acting. You could have given her a chance. I thought we're all about progressive and inclusivity and making people feel included. A lot of female bodybuilders don't get the chance to be in Hollywood. You could have made somebody's fucking career, but you picked a thin actress that's already established. And how much that fucking sucks. God. I can't even tell you how much that pisses me off. I can't even tell you, man. You know, or like they created problems that they didn't need to. Originally, The Last of Us starts in the year that it was released, 2013. Then it skips ahead 20 years. So it's in 2033. Okay? So the song that Joel sings to Ellie, that is one of the best parts of The Last of Us 2 at the beginning, Our Future Days by Pearl Jam, had just came out the year that game was released. So it kind of slightly stretched credibility because, like, how is that like a thing when it just released? But it's like, oh, okay. But then they took the show. And they're like, we're just gonna set the apocalypse in 2003, 10 years before, so it'll be in the current year when we jump ahead 20 years. Why would you fucking do that? And now it means that literally the song that Joel sought to sing to his daughter, that he sings to fucking Ellie, didn't fucking exist when the apocalypse happened. Didn't exist. And the director of the show came out and said, well, yeah, we're not gonna lie, it just didn't exist, but it was too important. Yeah, exactly. But if you hadn't fucked with something that didn't need to be fucked with, you wouldn't have created a problem that needs to say, oh yeah, it's a plot hole. And I'm trying to figure out why. What purpose does putting it 10 years back even serve, really? Like, it's a senseless fucking change that makes no sense. It literally solves nothing, but creates a lot more problems. Or now the fucking clickers infect people with tendrils. Okay, before... CP. Before... the cordyceps... Yeah. The fucking cordyceps, man... I'm trying to figure out the way to put it. The cordyceps, one of the things that made it so scary was that it was a real phenomena. It actually infects ants and does what you see in The Last of Us. They thought, well, what if it happened to human beings? Okay? So, and yeah, it's good to see you, Philippe. I'm just in a train of thought. So, what was so cool about the cordyceps is that it was rooted in reality. It was scarily close to something that could happen. And they took their time, okay, and they actually did the research about how it would spread and works. It's actually really close to how cordyceps would actually work. I mean, they took some liberties here and there, but for the most part, it's actually how the cordyceps would spread and work. So there's some actual, believe it or not, some authenticity there, okay? And it is a fungal infection. It's a fungal parasite. It spreads through spores. So making it spread through tendrils in the show makes literally no fucking sense. It's not how fungus works. And it's like, they literally took the time to make it work and actually be scientifically accurate. Yeah. I gotcha. If you need to go, it's fine, dude. They literally changed something that didn't need to be changed. It was just fine as it was. You know what I'm saying? Why even fucking... okay, man. Oh, just making sure. So, like, they could have tried to fix problems or patch in holes, because, like I said, you're fucking balls deep in a game, and things miss you. You're, like, in it. And you see a lot of things where it's like, in hindsight, I would have done it this way. In hindsight, I would have done it that way. I would have changed this, And you can't see that when you're on top of something. You're balls deep in a game for 5 years. Or maybe by the time you do see it, it's too late because, when you have a game, at a certain point, you have to commit to something. You don't have the resources to change it. So maybe they realized they could have done it better too late and they had to commit to it. So one of the benefits of coming into a game that's already long done is to be able to take an outside perspective and actually be able to see all the things you missed in hindsight. Well, I'm sure our government does the same thing. So, if I was fucking Neil Druckmann, who's involved with the show, and I had any kind of creative say-so, I would use that opportunity, that hindsight, to fix the problems that I left the first time. And most people never get that opportunity. He was given like a rare opportunity, and it's like, instead of taking this like golden opportunity to go in as hindsight 2020 and fix the problems, you didn't fix the problems, and you caused a whole bunch of fucking new ones. And I will give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll use the bathroom real quick. Just fucked up. It's fucked up, man. Yeah, it could be. Who the fuck knows? Nobody can say for certain. Either way, I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of seeing properties that I care about, games, movies, shows, books, getting fucking ass raped by people that neither appreciate nor even understand the things that they're fucking cribbing from. Instead of being incredibly grateful that they were handed the keys to a well-known property and think, man, most people would work for years to get this opportunity. Most people would dream to write for Star Wars, for example, to be a part of one of the most beloved fucking universes in fiction. Instead of taking it as, man, I'm given just a super thing, they not only don't show any appreciation, they view it as a burden, like, oh, I've got to work with Star Wars. Fucking lame, but I have to make do. And then ass fuck it. It's literally people yeah. It's literally fucking people with no talent of their own. Nobody wants to read their shit, play their games, literally taking their ass and wiping it on the somebody's works that actually is good. And the whole time thinking, well, I fixed it. No, bitch. It wasn't broken. And then criticizing the people who liked it in the first place. Like, what the fuck? It's like somebody comes into your house, fucks your wife, and then tells her that your wife's pussy wasn't up to their taste. You know, they come in, they fondle your daughter, they fuck your wife, they shit on your bed. You need to soak the sheets, bro. What thread count is this? It's like, yeah, well, I was doing it to your wife, man. The spring, the headboard was kind of, you know, like, kind of hard to deal with. Can you adjust that next time, man? So I can really get in there? When does your daughter turn 18, by the way? Like, I'm so fucking tired, man, of my childhood being fucking sexually assaulted. Okay, I've literally come to equate for modern audiences with testicular cancer. I would love to get an adaptation of something that's just not raw ass. Is that like so much to ask for? Apparently so.
Get out of here and run to your village.
I'm too sad to enjoy this moment, but I'll do as you say.
Get the fuck out of here. And then, you know, they come into a fan base, they shit on the fan base, the people who've been here since day one, insult them, call them neckbeards, incels, you fucking name it. And then they have the gall to say that we're the problem. Like, we were doing, you know, I'm here to save you. Dude, we were doing just fine before you fucking arrived. Like, if that's your idea, that's your idea of saving, fuck you. Like, you're the worst. And at a certain point, you think they would get it through their fucking head. Oh, hey, we keep doing this thing, and it keeps bombing and fucking our box office up. Maybe we should stop. But no, they're like, no, hey, let's double down.
You're locked onto me. Get ready for a fight.
You know, the so-called problematic Joker movie that everybody said was so awful and it's gonna get people killed? Nobody got killed. And then the movie, which was made on a budget of $50 million, which for a superhero movie like that, Joker, was nothing, okay? Made over $1 billion at the box office. Then they said, you know what? We're gonna make a Joker movie that says fuck you to the fan base. And it fucking bombed so hard they lost hundreds of millions of dollars on it. I don't even know, man. Any number of reasons. Yeah, it pretty much, yeah. Pretty much did, yeah. Ironically, they took the clown prince of comedy and they made him a fucking joke. That would be funny if it wasn't so sad. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it already is. I mean, the second one pretty much killed any future movies, but the first one will always be highly regarded, so they can't really take that away. Yeah. I can see why you'd think that. Just depends on how you feel. People seem to think that it was condoning what the Joker did, and it wasn't. It was just showing the movie. To me, Joker was showing the perils of mental illness, that we have a society of fucked up people, and rather than helping them, we condemn them, and then they strike back. And they shouldn't strike back like that. They shouldn't go and kill a bunch of people, okay? But we play a part in it. The way we society, we can't wash our hands of that. I'm looking for the fucking camp. Here we go.
You picked the wrong target, Bird. Yeah, this is gonna hurt.
Oh, I just need one more of those and I'll clear that activity. Where are you, Red Dot, bitch? I'm missing one more of those bases. I'm trying to find it on the map. It was the last one that gets you, man. Is there any corner of the map that I haven't really been to? That could be the one I'm missing. I guess I'll try going here. No. Come on. There's just one more of those little outposts. Do. Let me try looking here. Da.
Now that's a view. They're locked onto me.
Assessing. Atalan needs help.
Where the hell are you going, Slade?
Atalan needs help.
heck of a dangerous spot.
Oh, thank the Yods. I'm Ermos from Alana. Hirak sent me here for a bath to rejuvenate my LOA
God,
essence.
it's always Max Payne with you,
He
man.
almost sent me to my reversion.
Well, danger averted. You can bathe as much as you want now.
You know, being stuck here made me realize something. Life is a bath. The longer you're in it, the more wrinkled you get. If I have to choose between rejuvenating my essence or my body, I choose my body.
Yeah, I've invited Philippe to the Discord, but he has yet to take me up on that offer. I will send it to you.
Top of the world. Brought the whole battalion, huh? Okay, too high.
What? I'm not sure what you mean. You just click it, man. And if you've got the app, it should open it up, give you the opportunity to join. Oh, fucking thing. Uh, we'll figure something out.
Look who's back, Adelpha.
For right now, I'm tired. I'm gonna go.